G'day everyone, Duckville here. Welcome to a very good game here between these two particular players. We're going to see a Protoss versus Terran. Just before we get too far into it, it is an extremely hot day here in Melbourne in Australia. It's 33 degrees, so if you hear me just start going quiet or something, it means I'm either having a drink from my drink bottle or I'm actually dead, so you might want to call the cops or something like that. This is going to be a very cool game. I did have a little quick pre-screen of this particular game before we got into it, but this is very fun from the initial part of the game, and we'll see what happens as we move through the game. But it is going to be between a Protoss up the top here, brbrb, we'll just call him BRB, I guess. He's going to be right back, but I'll tell you what he is going to be doing is playing against a high-quality Terran player down in the bottom left here. On the opposite side of the map, it is beastyqt, of course, one of the very high-quality Euro players. This is, of course, from the Euro server, just FYI. This was actually streamed on Beasty's stream on roughly the 14th, I believe it was, of November. So this one is a little bit old, so as of late, but. So he's going to be playing down here. He's going to go for a standard little opening, grabbing that Rax there, and we'll see what he's going to go for. Of course, this is a map where it can tend to favor macro-orientated builds. Of course, we see Protoss go for the odd one-gate expand. Sometimes you will see a Nexus first, which I, of course, love to see, as many of you will know. And of course for Beastie, he actually loves to do a macro-orientated game, loves playing very long games where he can actually draw out the game and make his opponent really think about what they're doing in the late game, and of course Beastie does a great job in the late game himself. Regarding, obviously, recently I actually had some troubles with YouTube. If you jump onto duckvillelol.com, you will see a post I put up a few weeks ago regarding some problems that I was having. Long story short, it has all been fixed and all is well. Of course, as you can see by the length of this video, unfortunately I was actually restricted from posting videos that were longer than 15 minutes, so that was actually quite unfortunate, and I was a little bit stuck for posting good content, but what we've got here is something that will hopefully make that up for you guys, and hopefully you can appreciate the little bit of downtime that we've had on the channel here. But BC, of course, just scouting out his own base to make sure that there were no probes just hanging out, placing pylons, probes and pylons, of course. The one key thing for a Protoss to think about, but another thing for Terrans to think about when they're inside your base. It can cause all sorts of trouble. But speaking of trouble, we've actually got a double Zealot attack coming through here from BRB. He's got the Cybernetic Core on the way. It's a little bit later. We don't have a second gas just yet. I'm going to assume he's actually, wow, he's actually loving the Zealot pressure. He's going to get 3 over there, in fact, altogether. And it looks as if he is going to catch BC off just a tiny bit here. There is one Marine that's getting a little bit low. The probe's going to have a go at that one. He may actually, no, he doesn't get that Marine. This one Marine is sitting here with 3 health. That's going to take 1 shot from a Zealot and die straight away. But it looks as if BC will be able to fend off this attack for the moment here. Does have the Marines there. He is going to have to micro around a little bit. A bunker trying to go up, but he's not going to get that up at all because there are too many Zealots here to take out those SCVs that are building. But it looks as if BC will start to stabilize here as a couple more SCVs come out to defend. But it looks as if that 3rd Zealot is now coming into the fray. Beautiful micro there from BRB just to keep the wounded Zealot at the back. Hopefully can recharge some of the shields there. Looks as if we are going to get perhaps another kill on this Marine up the top. One of the Zealots going down, 2 of them going down. It looks as if there is 1 left over. He's going to try and get a couple of extra kills if he can. Going to get into that mineral line as fast as he can, but he's not going to be able to. The Marines jumping inside the bunker will be able to protect those SCVs for the time being. And here they go, just popping out and saying hello to that Zealot. Goodbye. And he is gone, and the pressure is done. But it looks as if while that's been going on, we've had BRB just heading over to put down that first Nexus down at his natural expansion. BC finally getting into the base of BRB, but he's not going to be able to scout out too much. But of course, given that he did see the Nexus go down, he will be aware that this is not going to be too much pressure just for the moment from BRB, of course. Once you put that Nexus down, you're actually essentially restricted from putting any further pressure on unless it's something incredibly crazy for the next few minutes, of course. course, because you've spent 400 minerals putting down that Nexus, and there's no way you're going to be able to pump out too many more units after that. And of course, one thing about getting that early Nexus on this this one gate expand style, which BRB has gone for, is that you only have that one gate, which means your production is a lot lower, of course, meaning that your capabilities for harassment are a lot lower. And interestingly, going straight for that forge here, that is a very quick forge there with the +1 upgrade. Of course, in the recent patch 1.4.2, we did see that the Protoss upgrades got a little bit of a change there, got a little bit of a tweak, and you could argue that it's not really too much in the late stages where upgrades matter, but it certainly is something where if you really knuckle down and actually work out a particular type of build order, you could actually make the argument that it is something that could have a little bit of an effect in the game. We're just going to close the chat thing now. I'm not sure why that came back online again, but anyway, thanks for that, Blizzard. I've really got to start setting that auto busy thing. Anyway, while that's been going on, Beasty has actually taken his own third down in the bottom right corner here. He does have that natural expansion up and running, got a few mills popping down there. They're going to be able to really increase that mineral income here, and we will probably see some type of, perhaps we'll see a couple more racks go down for Beasty. He does have 3 here already. We've got the stim just starting there. It's a little bit slow, of course, because he has double expanded, but he is going to be able to put up some defenses and should be able to hold up any attacks that try and come through from BRB once he gets into that position where he can attack. So we've got BRB interestingly putting a cannon down. Not often that you see that when a Protoss goes for this type of expand, but it can be quite helpful if you come up against something. From time to time you do see ghosts actually used against a fast expansion like this, bringing out a 1 or 2 ghosts and either putting up a cloak. Grabbing cloak can be really hilarious to run into your opponent's base, and because they're quite late with the robotech. In fact, you can see here there is no robotech, so the only detection is that cannon that we mentioned before. And getting a ghost inside with cloak is just absolutely magnificent for a Terran. But of course, the ghost can also help with dealing with these gateway units, which with an EMP on this group of the group of sentries and the sentry and the stalkers, that's going to really whittle them down. So that cannon will definitely help in that regard of if there are any possible ghost attacks. But as we can see on the map, we've actually got Beasty just really going hard on that mining there, switching that into an orbital straight away, just so he can get some more mules going down. We've got a turret going up inside the base, so he can fend off any possible DTs or try and actually snipe out an observer, which should definitely be on the way very soon. But here we go, Beasty actually moving into his little macro mode there. We've got a starport on the way. The reactor is being built on that factory. No doubt these buildings will switch places once they are both up and running, and we will see probably this racks count start to expand here from Beasty. I would really hope so, given that he is on 3 bases, but he could probably put down another 2 at least, I believe, if I remember my Terran builds correctly. You could probably put down another 2 with that 3rd base going. But what is BRB up to? He does have that +2 to armor already on the way here. He's going to be actually quite well positioned if there are any early attacks here from Beasty, but he's certainly going to be able to defend against anything if something comes along. But with the charge on the way, that's going to give the Zealots a really good way to neutralize any early attacks there as well. And it's actually just going really nicely here from both of these players. Nice macro from both of them, of course. Beasty just a little bit in front, and BRB getting his tech going quite nicely as well. And as we can see here, he is going to try and actually get those rocks out of the way and put down this 3rd base in good time. So he is going to be able to get that economy up and running again. Meanwhile, Beasty is now getting gas over here at this 3rd expansion. We probably will see that here we go. We've got the medevac starting to pump out. We've got 2 just popping out there. We've got the reactor there, of course, and it looks as if we may have a drop on the way from Beasty. He could look to perhaps put some pressure on this expansion here, and while all of the Protoss units have run all the way up this path, he could actually just drop inside the main and take out some of these very key tech structures. As we can see, +3 to armor already on the way. We are at 12 minutes, folks, and we have already got that +3 to armor on the way. So that is absolutely awesome chrono boosting there from BRB to get that on the way. And of course, you could make the argument that that recent patch actually helped out with getting the upgrades quite swiftly there. And we'll see if they do help out. Looks as if we're going to have just a little poke here from Beasty. He's got a small force of Marines and Marauders. We've got a couple of medevacs here to make sure that they are being healed. A probe is probably going to spot what is coming here. Does see the medevacs there. Not sure if BRB actually did get to see the forces that were at the top of the ramp there, but it looks as if he will be prepared. Actually just moving straight in here. These zealots with their charge, of course, ripping through those two marines that were sitting up there, and it looks as if he's going to be prepared because he's actually seen those medevacs getting loaded up there, and we will actually have an attempted drop here from Beasty. I'm not actually sure if this is the best idea, loading up right next to that Zelnaga watchtower where your opponent can probably see what is happening, but it looks as if he will be able to defend this for the moment here. A scan going down, giving Beasty a good recognition that there will be enough defenses here. A couple of cannons also in the mix just to make sure that everything is sitting pretty, and just a very, very interesting sort of game for BRB. Not actually sure exactly what is going on here. Knows that the natural expansion is up. You can see that Beasty has not actually taken this third expansion at the 3 o'clock and has not taken the one at the 6. He's going to get inside to the third at the with the rocks. We'll see that the Marines and the Marauders are trying to take this out as quickly as possible to get that next expansion down, but of course is still perhaps a little bit confused as to where all of these units have come from, given that Beasty is theoretically just sitting on the 2 bases. So we'll see what's going to happen here. This could get a little bit nasty very soon. We do have a few ghosts out for Beasty. It does have +1 to weapons, all done. +2 is on the way. We've got the Mobius reactor for the ghosts as well, so they've got some extra energy. We may see some cloak ghost usage here in this particular game. Looks as if we've got BRB now moving out. He's got a large zealot force. Let's have a quick look at the numbers here. We've actually got 36 zealots out on the map. We've got 8 Templar on the field and a few stalkers and only a 1 lonely sentry. That is a very, very interesting mix here from BRB, going extremely heavy on those zealots. Going to have no shields, no force fields for backup, I should say. Which could make the engagement very interesting. We'll have to see if Beasty is prepared. It looks as if he is going to try and wall off, making sure that the units can sit behind the wall and not get just mutilated by all of those zealots that will be in the forces of BRB. Just actually bringing in more stalkers, which I was about to say is probably going to be a very useful thing to have, of course, but more and more gateways going up for BRB. We've got a few up here at this expansion. 4 more are going to add to the total of the already very heavy. How many have we got there? We've got 10 in the main base. We've got the Templar Archives already done with Storm. Looks as if Beasty will be prepared to take on this force, but we'll have to see if he can get some good EMPs off. Of course, this is going to be the big part of this upcoming engagement here. We'll see if he can get some EMPs, take the Templar. If he can get them off on the Templar, the Storms will be nullified, and then this battle could just totally switch around. But we'll see what happens. Looks as if BRB is going to get prepared to move in here. He does have some extra Stalkers that have warped in at this pylon that was down here. Still no clue at all that this expansion is here, so he's has no idea that there are actually probably going to be a lot more forces. And here come the EMPs right on top of those Templar. Did actually take out the energy on a lot of them, is now taking out some more on the Stalkers as well. The forces being pushed back into the corners. Probably not the best position for BRB to be in, but it looks as if the Ghosts are going to try and come in here, put down some more EMPs, and he is not going to be able to come in here and do too much damage, of course. Looks as if Snipes going off on top of those Templar as well. Fantastic play here from Beasty. Snipes going off everywhere. It's like playing Modern Warfare or something like that with your 14-year-old kids that are just playing Sniper the whole time, thinking that they're that guy from that movie Shooter. But that was a huge counter there from Beasty, just actually denying any possible push through that southern part of the base. And it looks as if BRB, whilst his mix of zealots is going to be really handy in dealing with those EMPs, it's not going to be too much to like enough to actually deal with this Bioforce just at the current time. With a few more medevacs in this mix, it will be quite interesting to see how Beasty deals with everything that is going on. But it looks as if he's actually going to do a double prong drop. We've got 2 medevacs going up here, some Marines and Marauders inside these 2, and of course a few more inside the 3 that are heading up to the main base. I would assume it is. Yeah, it is. Let's follow that path. There it is. Going to drop inside the main in that little perhaps unvisioned. I don't know, man. I'm making up words. It's so hot. But he's going to try and get some moves going on inside the main base while attacking up here at the attempted 4th. It looks as if these buildings will need to be cancelled. There you go. Cancelling the cannons, cancelling the Nexus, getting those minerals back. But he will have to contend with this in just a second. Here we go. Looks as if all of the forces of BRB are now coming inside. The Stalker's getting into the mix, blinking on top of the medevacs. Will be able to pick off this one. Dude, just get in there and pick it off. But a scan is going off. Here comes the attack. Here comes the attack inside the main base. Marines, Marauders dropping out, stimming up, going to take out some of these Artosis pylons. Look at all of this powering down 4 of the gates. Going to hit the cybernetic score if he can. Takes that out. No more stalkers from you, BRB, and more pylons are going to try and go down here up inside the main. Going to hit that forge if he can. Takes out the +1 to weapons, I believe that was. No, +2 is taken out. The Twilight Council is also gone. Good time for BC to retreat right now. He's done enough damage, doesn't need to lose these forces just yet, and does retreat with 3 of the medevacs intact and a few of those units inside as well. Beautiful drop there from Beastie coming inside, taking out a lot of this tech. We saw a lot of the pylons going down, meaning that the warp ins were going to be very hard for BRB to actually pursue there and get back his forces that he may lose in the battles. But just looking at the supply, in fact, he didn't actually really lose anything in terms of units, currently sitting at 200 of 200, and BRB is definitely going to be able to contend with any direct attacks that come from Beastie. But Beastie, look at this, he's just starting to really beef up these Terran units. He's got +3 on his weapons, +2 to the infantry armor as well. A few Vikings now popping out as well, they have +1 to their weapons as well. So the imminent battle which is going to happen here, we've got a drop inside the main, one of the medevacs splitting off to put down some units inside that third base, but it looks as if the medevacs will be taken out, and whilst that's going on inside the main, some more Marine Marauder forces are actually inside, taking out more of those pylons, really helping out with stopping BRB there. But it looks as if it was not enough to actually to secure a position inside the base. Does lose all those medevacs and will have to come back to fight another day with some more forces. And it looks as if now that that harassment is over, BRB is actually able to move outside of his base and perhaps actually get some more attacking done, some more harassment. That's what we would love to see from BRB at the moment. He is just massively on the back foot, just sitting back and not getting any attacks done. Meanwhile, Beastie has taken this base up here at the natural of the bottom right and has taken the 6. We've got a planetary there and has taken the 3, and we're probably going to have a planetary fortress there as well. We've got some SCVs mining here and just a decent amount of mules. That's just a few, you know, just how many is that? It's like that's what, 13 mules, not too many. That's not too bad, don't worry about that. But the Zealots and Stalkers are going to have something to say about that. Coming inside, it looks as if this planetary will not be staying up for very long. The +2 to weapons, I think we're right. No, +1 to weapons on those Zealots will just tear through every single thing here. The mules, unfortunately, not able to attack. They are pacifist units. They will just sit by and watch you die. Unfortunately, they're perhaps a bit sadistic like that, but we'll hopefully get some upgrades to them later on in perhaps one of the expansions. How fun would that be, everyone? If mules got buffed, that would be awesome. But hey, have a look at what we've got going on here from Beastie. We have a massive 7 Ghost Academy sitting out here in this little narrow passageway. Nukes all over the place. We have, I think that's roughly 7 nukes actually prepared. No, we've got 5 and a couple more just coming along here. We actually have a nuke just on the way here. Defensive nuke here from Beastie. It looks as if he is going to get this down. I'm not actually sure if BRB is going to be prepared for this. A scan going down to make sure that he can see exactly what is happening here. The Ghosts are going to need to retreat, and down goes the nuke, taking out a lot of those forces there. Stalkers going down and a few Templar as well. Some more Templar now coming inside, but they're going to get picked off straight away. And Beastie, with a massive nuke, is just going to be able to absolutely destroy everything here. And it looks as if he's going to do some more attacks. Another Ghost sneaking inside to the natural expansion of BRB. He's going to drop down another nuke on the front here. We've got more going off. The nuke hitting up here at the natural. We've got a couple double nuke going down here at the third base here. And in fact, a couple going off at the 4th base as well. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and bam! There you go. One of the nukes hitting there, taking out a few of the pylons and some of the cannons that were there as well. Looks as if we've got some more nuclear warfare over at the side across at the 4th base as well. Going to drop down and take out some of these probes. It looks as if the probes were just wondering what to do there, having no idea where to go. They do retreat off to the left, losing none of those probes, but he did lose some of the buildings there, and it looks as if the natural is under fire as well, losing some of these gateways as well. The robo facility is also gone. That means no more observers to help spot any of these ghosts that are just roaming around the map, dropping nukes left, right, and center. And just look at that, more nukes just popping out here from Beastie. He's got 2 ghosts inside the main. Looks as if these guys will probably go for a drop inside, a drop with nukes, of course, inside that little cluster of gateways. Another nuke now going down on the 4th. Here it comes. It's going to hit all of these probes. Have no idea. They're going to try and get some pylons done. Looks as if we're going to have another counter here from BRB, dropping another nuke. The probes have been taken out. The cyber that has just been rebuilt is about to die again, and it looks as if we're going to have no way for BRB to come back in this game. Gateways going down all over the place here. Another nuke going down, which will clean up this Templar archive, and that is probably going to be it here for BRB. The nuclear winter is obviously giving him a bit of discontent, and as we can see, another nuke about to drop inside here at the third base. Here it comes, going to drop in there, take out those cannons and the pylons, and there you go. Gateway's now unpowered. We've got no cybernetics core. The only forces left for BRB are zealots. That is basically the only thing he can warp in. In fact, does he have any active gateways? We've got 2 active gateways. A massive 2 active gateways for BRB in this game. He's got a Twilight Council that has somehow survived these massive attacks from these nukes. More going down here as well. Meanwhile, back at the base of Beastie, he's cool. He's just sitting out here. He's got a command center filled up with some SCVs. We got an attack that did take place here at this base, but it was successful and did remove the mining there. But it's obviously way too late for anything to happen here for BRB. He does have a nice bank of 3,000 minerals and 2,000 gas, but he's just not enough. And there you go. The Ghost obviously being the signature unit of this particular game from beastyqt. Fantastic little nuke attack there, just actually pushing into that mid game, dropping nukes all over the place, denying any more reinforcements from being built. And of course, earlier on, we saw in the game that some very nice EMPs taking out the Templar, snipes going off left, right, and center, and that is how the game progressed. So, hope you guys enjoyed that game. We are going to have a lot more games coming up very soon. Of course, MLG is this weekend. We'll be putting up some games from MLG in the near future. Make sure you jump on mlg.tv after the event is over to catch some of the games from the community casting that myself and some of the other guys in the casting team will be putting up. And I hope you guys had a lot of fun, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.